This is a summary of the notes for making levels using an integer variable from class last week. Um, so the first thing I did was make a global variable level, set it equal to 0 to start out, and each increase of the level variable will correspond to the next advancing level. It will increase when the player has success at the prior level. I made 3 lander objects, one for each of the levels, and I changed my lander class to take in 2 variables. The first one is that vertical descent speed. So the first lander is initialized with a speed of 0.5, then 1, then 1.5, so they get increasingly faster in terms of their fall. And then the second one is a random value, again, increasing in size, or absolute value of size to be specific. So this is the horizontal drift. So they'll be the objects will be moving increasingly faster in each level, both downwards and to either the right or left side. I also created 3 arrays of the ground objects, one for each level. So in the setup, I wanted to make sure to initialize each one of the ground objects. That first value we had initially in the first draft, this is just spaces out the ground objects evenly horizontally at 50 pixel intervals. The second one I added in, so now my ground class takes in 2 parameters. The second being set equal to the height of the rectangles that are the ground, so the range of the randomness of the heights of those objects get bigger, so the terrain has greater variance, or could possibly have greater variance, which theoretically might make it harder. In draw, I want to start out by saying if the level's variable is equal to 0, that can be the start screen, and the player clicks to start, changing that level to 1. Then when the level is 1, I'm displaying the first lander object, displaying the first rocks object. I still have that same intersection, but instead of having the positive intersection with the target give the player positive feedback in the form of winning, I just changed the level to 2. The other thing that I would recommend is setting the speed. So it would be lander dot, I think it's drift. I'd set that to 0. I might even move the lander. It's going to be covered up, but yeah, with the subsequent levels. But if you want to move it off screen, you can by saying something like lander.x is way off screen. Oh, this is all lander 1 at this point, lander1.drift. And so the object should make sure it stops moving. If the lander misses, then the game can be over, or I don't know, you can go back to the start screen by changing level back to 0. It's up to you what would happen in there. And then subsequently in level 2, I'm going to display the second lander. I'm going to display the second array of rocks. And then again, if the user is successful, the level becomes 3. Otherwise, the game is over. The other thing is, do not forget to, also if you're using key press to move your object, you want to make sure that you have each one of the landers.move functions called. So lander1.move, lander2.move, and lander3.move for each of the 3 levels. Again, you can use if level equals 1, lander1.move right, lander1.move left. However you've done, use the move function in there.